That wall is no love.
Yeah.
No God, no love, no source. Just you being right and someone else being wrong.
Yeah.
And it's devastating when you can even just look at it from that perspective.
That takes courage and it takes getting uncomfortable because to be willing to listen to another viewpoint when you are so sure that yours is right.
The more I can be honest with self and with you, the more I can feel it. And then I can even have a discussion about it, even if I disagree.
Right.
That's real honesty.
If you want the world to change, you have to be willing to listen to the other perspective.
Right.
And if you are only feeding yourself literally through social media and news, only one side of the story, you have missed the mark.
Forget the simple talk. Let's not really feel. Let's not be intimate. Get intimate, get raw, get real.
Hello, this is Real Aware Women, episode 17. I am Wendy Lieber, and I'm here with my two co-hosts, Ammy and Jane.
Glad to be here.
Welcome to episode 17.
Thank you.
Long time no see.
Long, very long.
Yes, I'm sure our viewers have noticed we go back to back when we record these.
Yeah.
There is no change of clothing. We just bring ourselves. This is how it goes.
Oh, but I put the glasses on. Is it disguising me?
Yeah, you look very
It's like a Clark Kent kind of thing going on here.
She's different. I love it.
Yeah.
So, today's a juicy one.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the topic you're not supposed to talk about, politics. Yeah. So the reason why I wanted to talk about politics and, growing up in my household, it was, don't talk about politics, don't talk about religion. It's rude, it's impolite. And so I can see in my life where I've avoided getting into meaty political conversations because of all kinds of reasons. Sometimes it's insecurity, like I don't think I know enough. Sometimes it's that indoctrination, it's rude, don't want to upset anyone. And then sometimes it's just, I know the person's belief, and so what's the point?
Yeah.
What comes up for you around talking about politics or not?
Sure. So I tend to be very bully-like and aggressive. So when I get passionate about topics that I know people around me might not want to either talk about or have a similar viewpoint on, this is where the problems happen, I could say. I would say they're less problematic for myself and more problematic for them.
Yeah.
But what I am feeling is that I did find it to be a problem when I felt judged. I did find it to be a problem when I felt like I had love and integrity in my views. And if they were seen as wrong or off, how much it would hurt me if I couldn't speak about it freely and be respected for my perspective.
Yeah.
Especially because I felt like I'm going to respect and appreciate your perspective. I'm also going to share a viewpoint. It might seem like it's contradicting.
Right.
And it might be contradicting, but it's only because I'm coming from mine, and I want to hear yours.
Yeah.
So what comes up for me in the first part of this is, can we just all be okay with our own perspectives and all be okay with knowing that everybody has beliefs? Beliefs are very different in each individual, and that's why the world looks the way it does. And the more we're okay with, you have your beliefs, I have my beliefs, you have your beliefs, we come together, we can share. The most powerful thing you can do is gain perspective and listen, register it, feel it, so that you can actually see, rather than just holding your own belief system as a wall to keep out whatever else is going on. So you can hear, gain perspective, and absorb, but also to be able to really fully share from your heart with integrity what feels right.
Yeah.
Can we all just get together and do that? And that's often not the case, is what I hear you saying and what I've experienced as well.
Yeah, so I know you're probably chomping at the bit on this topic,
Right.
But before you jump in, to me, that's the real opportunity, because when I really think about what has gotten in my way of opening up a conversation where there's a different perspective, it's that anxiousness that happens when someone doesn't agree with me, and like that wanting to get them to agree versus creating this space for, all possibilities and for different perspectives.
Sure.
And being curious, well, why do you think that? Tell me more. and perhaps having a shift or learning something I didn't know about the topic or myself, because I can relax. And I can, I know when I've been in those conversations before, you definitely feel it in the body.
Yes.
The tenseness, the fight. And when you can relax and actually allow another person to have a completely different perspective without judgment, it does create a space for change and transformation to happen.
For sure.
So.
Yeah, wow. You guys touch on a couple things. I'm really feeling, why do we like talking to people that have the same point of view? It's because you get more relaxed. You're relaxed. You feel comfortable.
Relatable.
It's relatable, and so and there's nothing wrong. You absolutely should be talking to folks, and you might be strategizing and looking at it. But when it becomes the wall that you said, I don't think people understand that wall is no love.
Yeah.
No God, no love, no source. Just you being right and someone else being wrong.
Yeah.
And it's devastating when you can even just look at it from that perspective. You realize that's devastating. It's not someone outside of me.
No.
If that's me, I'm part of this wall. And so, obviously, I grew up outside of DC. I used to debate my dad all the time. And now that I think back, I'm like, why did he debate me on that? But I think it was to practice, actually being argumentative, having thoughts in that way. But I look at politics as something where there was a time where you could see folks actually coming across the line, right?
Yeah.
Like they talk about that a lot. We gotta have this cooperation, but we don't talk about how to get to that cooperation. And I think that's what you said, Ammy, really nails it. It's not coming with the judgment. It's being open, as you said, to all possibilities. Yeah. And mostly nobody says that they're really open to all possibilities. They're right about their point of view and the other side is wrong about it.
Sure.
And then it leaves us with situations, and I know our viewers have experienced this. You have a point of view, you say it, and then all of a sudden these folks who are your friends are now like, I can't talk to you anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, that is devastating.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why, and that's probably why people say, your parents, right, doing the best that they could, just don't talk about it. We don't want to be divisive. We want there to be love. But then is that not so fake?
No.
Yeah.
So fake, not real, you don't really know. So it is my experience now, because I certainly have gone through my own political journey, and I've evaluated my views in places I'd never had before, and I feel differently. And now I find they don't want to talk to me about it.
Sure.
They're just not going to ask me. They sort of know.
Even if there's a presentation
thought.
of agree to disagree.
Right.
Hey, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay to disagree. But there is this rootedness.
Yep.
There's just no possibility. And I say to everyone, if you want the world to change, you have to be willing to listen to the other perspective.
Right.
And if you are only feeding yourself literally through social media and news, only one side of the story, you have missed the mark.
Yeah.
It is worth listening. It doesn't mean you're going to like it all, but you should listen.
Yep.
Right? There's value in every perspective.
Sure.
And folks, there's no more facts.
Yeah.
Right? When there were 4 news stations, I don't know, I could probably argue those are not all factual either. But
it's much harder today.
It's much harder today. And that's actually great, because people are more open, but now we've siloed ourselves into these little echo chambers.
Right.
So politics is something we should talk about.
Yeah.
But to do it, one must be willing to feel what they're feeling in their body, to feel their own, and not project it out on the other person like it's them.
Right.
It's you, it's me. If it doesn't feel good, it's me.
For sure.
And I think that's really our Raw project is all about, right?
Definitely.
Being real aware women. We're willing to talk about a lot of things here. Some of our listeners agree, some of them don't, and that's okay. No problem. Bring it. You know, because we're just going to be ourselves. That's the point.
For sure.
And that's really the challenge I think we have for all of our listeners.
Well, the word willing, I think, is such a powerful word. Being willing.
Yep.
And that takes courage, and it takes getting uncomfortable, because to be willing to listen to another viewpoint when you are so sure that yours is right. Right?
Yeah.
And that's, a lot of us walk around that way, is, well, no, my viewpoint's right. You don't understand. tell you about it, but I don't really want to hear yours.
Right.
So what does it take to be willing? Like, what does one have to do to be willing? And again, what's the benefit?
Yeah, I feel like, especially in this regard, the willingness is about honesty. Honesty in this respect is about really discernment. Like, there is, this is a black shirt, okay? If you tell me it's a red shirt, I'll be like, okay, when? So there is a sense of discernment. The more aware, the more confident you are, the more educated and experienced you are, you have more discernment. So we have discernment, right? Now, at the same time, we have perspective.
Yeah.
So to the degree that I'm willing to hear someone's perspective and be honest is to the degree I'm willing to really truthfully discern.
Right.
Right? So if you're telling me something I don't agree with, the discernment is, first, I just don't agree. But can I relax more and more into the honesty of it? What is she saying? Can I feel it? Can I see it? Then I can distinguish. If I can't cross that barrier, there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
I have kept you over there and I'm keeping me over here. And discernment is not judgment. There's a big difference.
Yeah.
So the more I can be honest with self and with you, the more I can feel it. And then I can even have a discussion about it, even if I disagree.
Right.
That's real honesty. The dishonesty comes in when we're pretending not to listen.
Right.
Or we're thinking we're agreeing to disagree, and really we're like, that idiot.
Yeah.
Flipping loser, what the heck,
We're just like getting by. Like, let's just like survive this conversation.
Yeah.
I'm going to nod my head and smile when inside I'm completely think you're an idiot. And of course, you're going to feel that. I mean, that you're going to feel that. The words do not have to be spoken to feel,
no kidding,
judgment.
Sure. And one of the things I want to say is, we practice in a modality in a community where we're really intensely raw, real, and powerful. It's powerful. It's all out on the table.
Yeah.
So we are going to get more controversial on these podcasts. We're going to get more political. Things are going to come up, and you don't have to agree, but I'm asking you to relax into, feel, and listen to whatever comes up for you. Give us feedback if you don't agree. Get in the conversation. Let's start practicing this honesty and discernment. And we want to hear what you have to say. We'll answer it. We will show you what it feels like to be in one of these aware relationships where you can be honest and state what you want and also hear feedback and address the feedback. So that's one thing I feel is very vital. We're moving into politics and other conversations about self, about things that aren't spoken of out there. Yeah. We're going to have those raw conversations here.
Going to shock you.
No doubt. And one of the things that came up while Jane was talking was, we have a very interesting stance here on this panel, if that's what we're calling it. I grew up social liberal in Canada where the cultural aspect of my upbringing was the main lean of everything.
Yeah.
Now I did, believe it or not, play the other side. I was a tomboy, played straight up ice hockey, competitive sports, martial arts, totally took on the Western side of things, but very Eastern, danced, went to temple and did everything else. I didn't understand what the United States was on about. I'm just going to be really real. I'm like, what's with all of the stuff we're talking about with war and masculinity and guns and safety and politics and patriotism? And what are cowboys? Why is everybody driving a pickup truck? I mean, now I drive a pickup truck. But I looked at this stuff. I came down here. We've had this discussion before in one of our very early podcasts, but I'm bringing it up again because when I came down here and I went into Central Florida, spent some time in ranch country, and experienced patriotism in a whole new way, I was blown away. I found what America's heart, I believe America's heart is. And I realized the true power of masculine nature and that America is the source of masculinity on the planet. And that might be extremely controversial and a nuclear bomb to drop in a little podcast here, but I'm saying it because it is vital. So everything we're going to talk about, you'll see, has a backup of when masculine is in right order and there is sovereignty and right order rulership everything follows. Think about families and countries, societies where the masculine is not in right order, and what happens.
Yeah, all hell breaks
That
loose.
little example of the researcher that found a tribe of elephants in Africa, and there was no alpha male. There was all this disarray, and the females were scared, the juvies were acting out, so much disarray. And the researcher thought about the idea of bringing in alpha males, separating the big tribe into 3 other tribes and put alpha males with all of them. They all got in right order. The juvies got right. The females were less hysterical. What we're seeing right now with Iran, with the hysteria in the world, is total neurotic hysteria. The feminine is not leading itself. And I am not a weak individual by saying I need to put my masculine first.
Right.
My feminine becomes a more powerful, sovereign, beautiful, divine, devotional, surrendering force that can support and create when I align with the masculine. Out here and here.
I love it.
And then I can also discern right order masculine out there. You know, so one of the big things I experienced in this process was, you know, really taking on Jane as a client, and where you started at that moment.
Sure.
And what I felt like, this is a powerhouse of a woman that has a massive vision and is already leading in a profound way and will be an incredible leader on this planet. I must be able to have these conversations with somebody that still believes in certain things a certain way, much like I did, just to be able to show her. And I so appreciated, I feel emotion. I so appreciated your willingness to feel with that much power. You didn't have to do that. You have established businesses. You have tremendous leadership. You didn't have to do that. But you allowed yourself to feel. That was so bold. So I would like to let you tell your story about your we're transitioning.
You guys need Kleenex. You're both
I know. I know. Very emotional episode on politics.
Yeah.
But it is emotional.
Yep.
Because it is a challenge to feel.
Right.
And I think, you know, when we met years before that, but when we met at that moment in my life, I was very certain about what I knew. I was very certain about where I was going, and all the roads were leading me.
Yeah.
You know, and I said at that moment, I'm running for city commission, but I'll be the president in 2030, right? And I was not kidding. I was like, that's what's going to happen.
You had a lot of people behind you driving it. Well, this wasn't just a random.
For sure. And it was challenging. You asked me to start to look at, because why I ran was the opposite. You know, I basically was like the anti-Trump in the moment. And I never looked at my value. I mean, I really had never looked at it all.
Yeah.
And so by experiencing that with you, just one-on-one, right? Just feeling what I felt in those sessions, and actually also looking at my environment. And then all of a sudden I could see, like, wow, there's this party and there is an indoctrination, and I must be lock and step. So when you hear about politicians who are upset because they're not voting with the party lines, most of America wants you not to vote with the party lines. They want you to vote for what's right in your district.
That's right.
And that's really what this was created for. So this isn't one party's bad and one party's good. It's the system. It's the system. And then once I saw that, I was like, whoa, this is not my higher purpose. This is to play in the system is not to be, and they're sure. Someone has asked me, and why don't you just go in the system and break the system, rework it? But to me, more alignment here, and I needed more power. There's no limit on power either, right? I was as powerful as that ego identity was in the moment.
And you could have done great. You would have done great.
For sure.
But you would have been a Democrat coming from personality at some level.
Absolutely.
As powerful as you are, that's why they wanted you.
Yep.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
They wanted you for that reason,
For sure.
I feel. They knew that this thing will get the job done. It'll annihilate anything in its way. She's like a Genghis Khan, We're giggling and laughing here, but...
Yeah. No, I feel that. And then to step away and to say, this is not the move for me.
Right.
And it was great because I was in office during COVID as well. And that was a real eye-opener. And to see how how people reacted and what was needed in the world, it was very clear to me that it was no longer me being in office and playing out my popularity game, which is a whole nother episode. But yes, it was time to come. So in that transition, I mean, I've had a lot of heartbreak. You know, there are people who don't want to talk to me about politics, family included, and that's okay. I understand that. And the family that does want to talk to me are on the side they think I'm on, right? Sure. And it's all the same there too, because they can't hear the other side.
Right.
So I keep just being more spacious, more space, more loving, more human. In the end, when you hear about these great stories where people connect, it's the human to human.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And something you said when you were speaking about education, it really hit me, and so I'm just going to say this. There is a real pompousness about I'm educated and you're not. Right. Literally, like college degree educated.
For sure.
And there's this I'm better than you. And there's nothing smart about you if you live in the rural world or you're in ag or you're this. And that is BS. Because common sense is what's been missing.
Right. Yeah.
You're so educated, you use your GPS and you drive off a bridge. You think a farmer is going to do that? I mean, I'm just saying it, right? It is real, and I'm 100%. Sorry for the folks that have experienced that.
Metaphor for a lot of other such things.
Yeah. Yep. So I think, and I was part of that trap. I'm educated. I'm a lawyer. I know exactly. I've read all the things. But once I started to go from Democracy Now! To Epoch Times, I was like, whoa. Everybody made fun of Trump for fake news. He wasn't wrong about that. And it's not that it's fake news, it's that it's one-sided. You're getting things, and facts are being distorted. Yeah. So everybody I know says, come back to the middle. Well, do that by actually looking at all the sides, you know?
At some level, it's like giving a monkey a hand grenade.
Say more.
Hello. Well, I'm not... some of the sayings that are running through my head right now. I'm not going to say them, but there are some comments about like the worst thing we did was educate women. It's not about making them smart and educated. It's because when it comes from here, and again, there's a difference between female and feminine. All people, male and women, have masculine and feminine. Yeah. So if I'm not leading with my masculine, my feminine takes over. Okay, so if they're aligned, great. When I need to lead with love and appreciation, devotion, creativity, great, I want my feminine to lead. But when I want to get the job done, when I want to have discernment, when I want to have authority, when I want to see what's really happening, my masculine wants to have that viewpoint of discernment. So when women or the feminine get more power without integrating enough masculine with enough authority, power, again, discernment, what happens? Like we get these Letitia James characters and these tards, I'm just going to say it, these crazies that are just completely off their rockers talking about God knows what because they think they're so highly educated as attorneys or judges or whatever it is. You are speaking at the level of a 3-year-old, dingbat.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm hearing you say like there's a lot of stupidity with educated people. But I'll also tie in what I was saying before, the lack of masculine authority, leadership, whether it was because you had a father or a husband or a friend, or because you've given it to yourself, or a great coach. I had amazing coaches in my life, athletic coaches and stuff. If you don't have it, find it.
Yeah.
Get it. Look for it. If you don't think you need it, check again. I don't give a shit where you are. Look at where great masculine authority, power, and leadership can lead the way. Right now, Trump has said, oh, Iran is in agreement and all these things, right? And Iran's like, yeah, we agree. Boom, I'm going to send a freaking missile over there or whatever. Hey, idiot for brains. We had an agreement here. This, like, we're talking about the world, right? Then, oh, yeah, the Strait of Hormuz is safe. Right. Don't worry about it. You just go ahead and pass on by.
Agreed.
Completely retarded. Completely, like, Putin, Xi Jinping, Kim Jong-un, these people think they're smart. They have as much intellect as
attack. I'll just say attack for you.
Right, thank you.
Well, to bring this around, so we started the conversation around the ability to talk about politics, right? And we're talking about a lot of things that our listeners may have a reaction to, have resistance to. I think the point is good.
Yeah. Yes.
Feel the reaction, feel the resistance, do your best not to make it right or wrong. It's normal to make things right or wrong, but notice that you're doing it and be more space, be more openness, because that is what's going to shift the world. So if you're out there wanting to shift the world in any way, shape, or form, it starts with you, right? And you have to be open first. So if you're judging, assessing, making everything wrong, well, there's no opportunity for change. So as we always like to do is, create some access for our listeners. I mean, I really do think it starts there. I hope this episode stirred something up in you. I hope maybe there's a part of you that's like, I don't want to listen to that anymore. That's the reason to listen more, open up more, because that is what's going to shift the world. And that's what we're up to, right?
Absolutely.
Is creating more access, giving everyone more access to being their true selves. And so politics is part of that, right? It's not outside of us. We can impact the world by starting with ourselves.
For sure.
So leave our listeners with
so I'm thinking, for me, I think the thing to do is to look at where in your life you've cut somebody off because you didn't agree with them. It's just really that simple. Everybody's done it to some degree. Where have you decided, I can't talk to that person anymore because they don't believe what I believe? Whether that's politics, religion, you name it. Right? I mean, you might do that because they didn't like Game of Thrones. I don't know. But you've done it somewhere. So look at that and look for yourself, what am I losing? What am I missing? What do I not get? Did I just miss a whole friendship? Did I just cut somebody off? And I think that's the first place to start in my world.
So I would say, as this really awesome banner behind you that says "Real America's Voice" is shining in my awareness, what they built here at Real America's Voice is very profound, and we're blessed to have the opportunity to record here and speak from here. And really, it's about expression, having the conversations, getting the voice out there, expressing whatever you feel, however you want to express it, and having discernment and awareness. So I would say express yourself, have your voice heard, even if everybody around you is going to disagree. I said some things that are pretty nasty today, and if you don't like them, okay, that's all right, and maybe you're like, well, wait a minute, I thought she said have every perspective and there's no need to be nasty, but yet she's being pretty nasty and having strong judgments on those people. Yeah, I'm speaking my voice and I'm all right with that. And that's how I feel. And I can hold the space for self to do so and other. So just take a look. Can you hold the space for yourself to communicate and have the same for other? And bottom line is, get outside of self, forget the simple talk, let's see how much we can get out of what'd you do today? How's the weather? Let's go to the beach. Let's sit here like robots. Let's not really feel. Let's not be intimate. Get intimate, get raw, get real.
I love it.
I love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap. Episode 17. See you next time.